Okay.
14.
Okay, this is exciting.
So are we live?
We are live. I'm going to start recording. Okay, we are live and we are recording. So I'm going to turn the time over to Terry to get us started.
Okay, do you have the share screen
Yep,
up yet?
one
Okay.
moment. Hmm. And there we go.
Okay. So welcome to the 2020 Wasatch County Democratic Party Nominating Convention. I'm Terry Goodall, the chair of your county party. So thank you for joining us tonight. This is our first virtual convention. We're streaming live on YouTube. Thank you to all the county precinct officers who are also participating live. The purpose of the convention tonight is 3 different items. We're going to approve our slate of county Democratic candidates, approve our state delegates, and then we're learning about all the candidates who will be voted on at our virtual state convention in 2 weeks. First, I'd like to introduce our executive committee. We have our vice chair, Jennifer Lee, secretary, Amy Armour, treasurer, Steve Hoffman, and our parliamentarian, Rudy Kohler. I'd like to thank them all. It was through teamwork that we put this together. Due to the cancellation of our caucus night, we asked our precinct chairs to continue in office for another 2-year term. So we would like to thank you all who have continued to serve. We do have a few more empty seats and welcome our new officers. The plan of action to do this convention this way and cancel our caucus was actually approved by our parliamentarian, who also determined that it followed our bylaws and our constitution. So thank you to the executive committee. Did we have our mayor pop in yet?
No, I don't see her
I
yet.
don't think so. Also with us tonight are Wasatch County Councilman Danny Good, and I don't know if Steve Doherty made it on yet,
I haven't
but
seen yet.
Danny is also one of our precinct chairs. So welcome, Danny. Thank you for coming. So to start off, the duty of our county delegates. We have.
I'm gonna interrupt for just a second and let you know we can't see the entire screen.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Is that better?
It's not sharing the right way.
No, we're only seeing maybe a
Uh,
small portion of it.
okay,
So this is a work in progress.
sorry.
Thank you, people, for being patient.
Is that any better?
No,
No.
it's still, it's expanded. It needs to
Yeah.
shrink down so we can see the whole screen.
Okay.
Huh. Well,
Sorry.
that's okay. It was perfect earlier.
Yep, it was good on our drive run. I'm
Yeah,
not
it sure
sure.
was.
Okay, I'm gonna stop sharing. Okay,
That's good. Yay. Yay.
sorry about that. Okay, so did you want me to take this, Terry,
Um,
or were you?
I can do this part if you
Okay.
want to do the next. Watch for Celeste to come in, maybe.
Okay.
So county delegates are actually our precinct officers, our vice chairs and chairs of each precinct. And their duties are to formally elect delegates to the state convention. They nominate candidates to appear on the ballot for county council and other county elected officials. In some of the larger counties, they also nominate candidates for state legislature. They may also adopt a county party platform or resolutions. And we hope to get to that at some point, perhaps next year. So next slide, the county candidates that we have.
That needs to get smaller again, it looks like. Oh, there it goes. Okay.
There we go. So we have Amy Armour is running for county council at large. She is also our party secretary right now. So this is Amy Armour's first campaign video.
Oh,
Hi, my name is Amy Armour, and I am running for Wasatch County Council at large CP. Thank you for being here today. I have spent my life in public service, advocating for causes that affect the health of our community and our economy. As a business development professional, I have spent time trying to make a difference in our state, working at Big Brothers Big Sisters of Utah, People's Health Clinic, which is where I work right now. You can imagine how busy we are with COVID-19, and the Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation, JDRF. I have also founded my own nonprofit called Kids Rock the World, which is a permanent program at the National Ability Center in Park City. I received my master's in public administration from the University of Utah and a BA from USC. But what means the most to me is working at the community level. That's where you really get to see the needs of the people. I've been involved with the Wasatch Community Caring Coalition, Wasatch NAMI, and Wasatch Latino Coalition. I've also been involved with the leadership group for Census 2020. I believe in government transparency. It's vitally important that community members are receiving updates and information on important issues. Did you know that there are 20,000 units that are coming to Wasatch County? 4 developments have been green-lighted and approved. You have to know that I will always oppose future density.
oh, my apologies.
Hi, my name is Amy Armour, and I'm about open space. Our community members have voiced loud and clear that this is something that they want, that we know makes our valley so beautiful. This valley is my home. Never before have I met such wonderful people and experienced such generosity. There's one thing you have to know about me. I am a person of integrity, and I will always ask first and last, is this the best thing for Wasatch County? Is this the best thing for our valley? Thank you for being here, and please feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions, concerns, or if you want to just have a conversation. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Amy.
My pleasure.
So there you can see Amy's council her campaign address and her Facebook address is there. Next up, we have Jason Jenkins, who is running for county surveyor. His phone number is there. His email is there. We will hear more from Jason at a later date, but he didn't have anything quite put together yet for tonight. But he is running against a sitting county surveyor. So we'll learn more about him later. And next we have Jennifer Lee running for county clerk auditor. And here is her video.
Dang it. Hello, my name is Jennifer Lee, candidate for Wasatch County Clerk Auditor. Thank you so much for participating in tonight's convention. It's an important part of our democracy. I'm running for office because I believe that our elected officials should be accountable, accessible, and transparent to the voters, citizens, and taxpayers of Wasatch County. I grew up here in Heber. I went to school here, I raised my family here, and I pay my taxes here. I understand from a personal level the importance of who our elected officials are and how important and what a big difference our vote can make here at the local level. The Clerk Auditor's Office has a couple of important roles to play here in our community. The clerk administers our elections. The auditor has an important checks and balance role as they administer the financial functions of our county, including preparing and administering the county-wide budget and conducting reviews and internal audits. These are crucial roles in our daily lives as elected officials make decisions about growth, traffic, educating our children, and preserving our way of life here in the Valley. As your county clerk, I'm committed to working with the team at the clerk's office as we continue to improve the voting process, from registering voters, shepherding candidates through the filing process, and to helping voters make informed choices. As your county auditor, I pledge to be a good steward of taxpayer money, to ensure that we have the resources we need on a daily basis, as well as the ability to be responsive to situations that come up, like the COVID-19 situation we are currently experiencing. This situation is going to have a long-term impact on our local and national economy, and surely on our county budget, and I'm prepared to lead us through this experience. I'm excited to be a candidate this year, and I invite you to join my campaign as a volunteer and donor. You can sign up at my website, electjenniferlee.com. My name is Jennifer Lee, candidate for Wasatch County Clerk Auditor, and I ask for your vote in November.
Thank you, Jennifer. That was great. So you have heard from our 3 county candidates that will be on the ballot in November. One of the duties of the county delegates, our precinct chairs and vice chairs, is to affirm that these are our candidates, and then we'll certify them to our county clerk. So we're going to unmute all of our county precinct officers, and I would like to ask that someone make a motion that we approve these candidates. Do I have a motion from the floor?
Make a motion to approve these candidates.
Okay, Susan Lee moves. Do we have a second?
I second it.
Mike Dorsey seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Congratulations. We have a slate of officers on our ballot in November. It's so exciting to have 3 Democrats running on our local ballot. Thank you so much, everybody, for running. Now I'd like to say a couple words about that. We also have Midway resident Athena Cumarella, who is also a precinct chair, and Athena is running for the Midway School Board seat. So
Hi, everyone.
this year, we're going to have some really important items going through our school board. And it would be great to elect somebody locally who's been involved and who has been aware of what's gone on with our school board. So please give Athena your support. She will automatically be on the ballot. It's a nonpartisan race. All these candidates, though, are going to need your help. So if you can find a way to spend some time in this very different campaign year to make some phone calls, to sponsor a meet and greet at your home through a Zoom meeting, which we would set up, to have friends be involved with it, and also financially. So please check out their websites. And Steve Hoffman is going to say, our county treasurer is going to say a few words about financial help for candidates and for the county party. So Steve?
Thank you very much, Terry. I just want to take some time today very shortly to thank everyone for your support of the Wasatch County Democrats, both financially and also in the donation of your time to help promote democratic values. It's really important that as many people as possible give as much as they can or in ways that they can to help support these wonderful candidates, both on a local, state, and federal level. We do need another strong year like 2018 for Democrats across the local, state, and federal elections. I don't know about you, but I can't even imagine what the US would look like right now without Democrats in the majority in the House. And I can only imagine what it would be like to have more Democratic representation in our local government, in our state government, and then with strong support, keeping the House, taking the Senate, and also taking the White House back from the Republicans. So I just wanted to let you know that we currently have $1,624.88 that the Wasatch County Democrats will have to apply to help candidates in 2020. That might seem like a pretty good amount of money, but this is going to be a challenging election considering our current situation. Candidates are not going to be able to do some of the more traditional things like door knocking that they've been able to do in the past. And whether it's buying Facebook ads, buying ads in newspapers, or sending out mailers, all of those things cost money. So what I'm asking you to consider is donating to Wasatch County Democrats and or a candidate and helping them with their campaign. Also ask that each of you consider the gift of your time, as Terry had mentioned, to help a campaign. Pick a candidate. You can help them in any number of ways, whether it's making phone calls, writing out postcards, or as Terry suggested, hosting a Zoom meeting. Again, more important than anything here is I just want to thank you very, very deeply for your continued support of the Wasatch County Democrats. And that's all I have. So thank you.
Thank you very much, Steve. And I hope you feel better soon too.
I hope so too.
Okay, next up, we have our state delegates. Jennifer is going to go through who the state delegates are, what they do, and I'm turning it over to Jennifer.
So the state delegates are just members of the Wasatch County Democratic Party who are typically nominated at this convention, and then they go on to represent our county at the state party. And this year, because of our emergency situation, we've asked the current state delegates to extend their role. And so we've contacted, I think, pretty much everybody, and I think we've had a couple of resignations. We're close to having a full slate. We have 34 slots and 2 alternatives. We do have an open seat for an alternative, and I think maybe 2 open delegate seats. So we need to turn that into the state party tonight. So after this meeting, if you're interested in being a state delegate, send us an email to wasatchdems@gmail.com and we'll see if we can get you added in. Just to kind of review the roles and responsibilities of a state delegate, you should be prepared for state convention. And what that means is to know when it is and read any materials sent before the event. The state party is also working very hard to put in place some alternative procedures so that we can do our state convention similar to what we're doing now online. And so information about that is going to be coming out soon. As a state delegate, you should be familiar with Democratic issues and candidates. And the state party at utahdems.org has a page on their site with all of the statewide candidates that have filed. If you end up being unable to attend the convention, please do let us know and we can move an alternate into that slot. Whoops. Another role of the state delegates, and it's a really important one, and that's to be active in your precinct, to remain in contact with your precinct officers and work with them to help support candidates up and down the line. It's really important that we have this engagement at the very neighborhood level, because that really helps the candidates out. It informs them of what the issues are, and it helps them to get out and have those conversations with the voters. With that being said, this is our current slate of state delegates. And Terry, I'll turn it over to you.
Okay, so we are going to unmute all of our county delegates again because we need to have the approval of all of our county delegates for our state delegates, and these state delegate names will then go into our state party. So are they all unmuted?
Yes.
Okay, so county delegates, do I have a motion to accept these as our state delegates?
I make a motion to accept this list as state delegates.
Okay,
Second.
Bill Goodall made a motion. Second?
I second the motion.
Okay, and that was Susan Lee. Okay, all in favor, please?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, our slate of state delegates is accepted. Thank you very much for that. And I'd like to do a little deviation from our plan here. We have a special guest today. Mayor Celeste Johnson from Midway is with us tonight, and we are so happy she could join us. She is on her phone though, so there won't be any video. And I'm going to turn it over to Mayor Johnson. Thank you for joining us.
Oh, I'm really pleased to be here, and interesting times calls for interesting meetings. So I appreciate the opportunity to do this via phone. First, I want to extend my congratulations to those who are running with the Democratic D behind their name on a ballot. That's a difficult and sometimes tricky thing. I hope that we will be able to be creative in how we campaign and how we get our messaging across so that we can get that diversity in our community that I believe we very much need. The Democratic Party was very helpful in my campaign as mayor. Fortunately or unfortunately, I don't know how you want to look at it, I did not have to put the D behind my name, but it is very disturbing to me when politics becomes so partisan that we are unwilling to look at who the best candidate is. And I would love to see this diversity continue to grow in our community. So I want to thank all of you for everything you do in that regard. When Terry reached out to ask me to say something, she specifically mentioned COVID in Wasatch County and the things that we are doing there. As you probably are aware by now, we have had our first death in Wasatch County, and I don't know about you, but that came as very sobering news. Somehow I feel like I live in Shangri-La and that would pass us by, but we are doing a lot to slow the curve and growth of this virus in our community, and I'm very, very appreciative of all the citizens who have taken this seriously. So our stay-at-home order, technically it goes until next Wednesday. I will be in a meeting Monday afternoon. I am fairly certain that we will extend it a little bit longer. We're still growing in cases every day, although not at the rate that we were, thank goodness. So that is an interesting scenario that has cropped up, and as was earlier mentioned, is going to make campaigning a more interesting approach, I think, this year. I do want to say that I think that we have growing diversity in our valley and a growing desire to look at things with fresh perspective and with a point of view that is perhaps a little bit different from just how it's been done before. So I believe that that's what we bring to the ballot this year, and I look forward to being a part of that. And I think, unless Terry, you have any specific questions for me, that was probably it from me.
No, but I really appreciate you taking the time tonight to join us, and stay safe out there. Thank you for the updates, and we really appreciate all you are doing as mayor. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you all. Have a great night.
Thank you.
Bye now.
Bye. Okay, so now we are down to our Utah House and statewide candidates. Jennifer, do you want to run through these and then put them up?
Sure.
Okay.
So first we have Megan Miller, who is running for a second time for Utah House District 54, and that covers all of Wasatch and part of Summit County. She came very, very close in 2018 to winning this race. So I'm very confident that she's going to be able to win this year. Let's see. Next, we have Jared Anderson, who's running for U.S. House District 3, House District 3. That's Congressional District 3.
Did we lose you, Jennifer?
When you did mute everybody, it muted me too.
Oh, sorry.
So we've got his website and his Facebook page there, and I encourage you to do some research and get to know a little bit about him. State delegates probably are already starting to hear from candidates, but I'm sure over the next couple of weeks, you're going to be seeing a lot of emails and getting some phone calls and texts. Now we have Trey Robinson, who is also a U.S. House District 3 candidate. I don't really know much about him, but there you go. Then we have Devin Thorpe, who is also a candidate for U.S. House 3, and I'm going to go ahead and play his video now.
Over the past 8 years, part of my Your Mark on the World show, I had the opportunity to interview 1,200 change makers from all walks of life and all backgrounds. Among them, I interviewed Bill Gates and even our own Ben McAdams. Serving with Rotary, I traveled around the world in an effort to eradicate polio. I even got to speak at the UN. Whether it was sitting on the floor chatting with an imam about eradicating polio or meeting with the president of Ethiopia about public health, I obtained an appreciation for the bigger picture. That which unites us is more than that which divides us. There are serious issues we are facing in our country right now, and we need leaders with Utah values to implement bold solutions to the immediate problems facing our country and to ensure long-term success forever. A Provo native, I've lived most of my life in Utah. I've spent nearly the last decade of my life devoted to eradicating extreme poverty, advocating for global health, and fighting climate change. I'm running for Congress because I believe that we will come together as Utahns to address our problems. By implementing bold solutions, we will have a bright future. Let's be bold together. I'm Devin Thorpe. I'm a Democrat. I'm running for Congress, and I approve this message.
All right. Next, we go into the Attorney General candidates, and we have Kevin Probasco, and there's his phone and email. I don't believe he has a campaign website up and running yet. Then we have Greg Skordas, also a candidate for Attorney General, and I'll play his video.
My name is Greg Skordas, and I'm running for Utah Attorney General. I've had the privilege of living in Utah my entire life, and I've had the opportunity to practice law now in every county in the state. What I've seen is that we're a pretty diverse group. We're a pretty independent group. Whether you live in the city, along the Wasatch Front, or in the more rural areas. I've also noticed that Utahns want their voices to be heard. And it's been especially frustrating for me recently to see the number of ballot initiatives that the voters have had to go through just to get the legislature to do the will of the people. When the voters pass a ballot initiative to expand medical coverage to Utahns, we don't need an attorney general who is suing the federal government to do away with those same rights. Utah voters also recently passed a ballot initiative to re-examine and do away with the hideous practice of gerrymandering, only to see an attorney general stand by and do nothing at all to support those wishes. As attorney general, I will be your lawyer, and I will make sure your voice is heard, and I won't be afraid to stand up in front of the legislature and tell them Utah voters have spoken. I'm prepared to fight for you, and I'm prepared to stand up for your rights. It's time Utahns had an attorney general who represented them, who fought the good fight. It's time to put a new face on the attorney general's office, the face of someone who will work for you.
All right, now we're going to move into the candidates for governor, of which there are quite a few. We start out with Neil Hansen, and you can see his website and Facebook sites there. Then we have Ryan Jackson. And here's a video from Zachary Moses.
Hello, Wasatch County Dems. I'm Zachary Moses, and I'm running to be Utah's next governor, and I'm making this video to show you why you should pick me as your Democratic nominee. So I am the only candidate, literally the only candidate across all parties who actually has a plan to save the Great Salt Lake and the other saline lakes of the West. I'm actually giving a TED Talk about this in August, on August 22nd. If you don't get enough from this video, you want to hear more about it, you can actually come and watch me at TEDx in Ogden. So I actually have a plan that will green energy, that will save our saline lakes, that will restore our weather patterns, that will clean up our air. And this all-encompassing plan can be done profitably. That's right, it can be done profitably. Business, public partnerships, that we can profitably save our environment through our human activity. Now, these are amazing ideas. These are groundbreaking ideas. And this is why I want to bring these to the state of Utah. We've had states of emergency in general, at least 5 of them a year, based on our environment. And this affects people in Wasatch County. We get fires on a regular basis. Fires, big blazing fires that fill our skies with smoke, destroy our forests. Now, these forests aren't being managed correctly. And this all affects the people in Wasatch County. This is unacceptable. In our current COVID crisis, too many people are left in a situation where they could have their entire lives taken from them, or their economic lives fall apart on them. Poor choices have been made at the state level that made it so we don't have the resources to deal with these kinds of problems properly. We don't have any taxes on jet fuel. Think about that. Jets brought COVID to us. Now I work in travel, and I don't want jets to be too vilified, but we need to take precautions. We need taxes on jet fuel, and we need to use those taxes to make sure that in the future, everybody's got the health care they need in this kind of crisis. So I'm Zachary Moses, and I'm running to be Utah's next governor, and I'm asking for your support. Thank you so much. You can find more information about me at zachmoses.com, or you can find me on Facebook at Citizens for Zachary Moses, or you can also find me on Twitter at Zachary Moses. That's ZACHARY MOSES. Zachary Moses. Anyway, thank you, and I hope I have your support.
Okay. Now we have another gubernatorial candidate, Chris Peterson.
My name is Chris Peterson, and I'm running for governor of Utah because I want to fight for the dignity of working families. I'm a law professor at the University of Utah, where I teach business law classes. Most of my law practice and my research and all the advocacy I've done over the years has been to try to help ordinary people be treated fairly in the marketplace.
I'm supporting Chris Peterson for governor because I want someone who's going to fight for working, everyday Utah families. I want someone who's going to work to expand access to healthcare and not roll it back. I'm supporting Chris Peterson for governor because I want someone who's been in the fight on the side of working families from the beginning.
If I'm elected governor, I'll try to bring a new focus to make sure that special interests are pushed to the side and the government focuses like a laser on the interests of ordinary working families. We need more access to affordable health care. We need to ensure that our kids get the best possible education. And we need to make sure that we're cracking down on unfair scams and predatory practices in the marketplace. The coronavirus is creating enormous problems for our society. It's causing suffering, both in terms of the people who are infected and the family and loved ones of those who are infected, but also it's affecting the financial prospects of so many businesses and families all across the state. Thousands and thousands of people are facing some of the hardest economic times we've seen in our country since the Great Depression. I believe that our government needs to do more to help ordinary working families. We need to do things like pumping the brakes on evictions and foreclosures. We need to make sure that we're properly administering our unemployment insurance programs. We need to ensure that ordinary working families have support from their government to make sure they can get through this difficult time. And we need to make sure that we're managing the public health aspects of this crisis effectively, efficiently, and listening to our scientists and experts to make sure that we're minimizing the amount of suffering and harm that our citizens are likely to face from this crisis.
Chris Peterson is a strong leader who has the judgment and experience to be an excellent governor. He will listen to us and fight for our interests, not special interests. Please join me in supporting Chris.
I grew up out on the west side in a single parent household. Mostly I was raised by a single mom, and she was also disabled when I grew up. So my earliest memories were pushing her around in the grocery store in her wheelchair. I wasn't raised with a silver spoon in my mouth like some people who have been leaders in our state. I learned pretty early that I had to work hard if I was going to ever make anything of myself. And I did. I carried job after job after job, cleaning up trash at a local strip mall, mowing lawns, and I was a janitor for years. After all the other students went home, I cleaned the biology building, sweeping the halls and cleaning the toilets, and afterwards I'd bunker down in one of the classrooms and get all of my studying done in the middle of the night before I'd get up again and start all over. I met my wife when I was in law school at the University of Utah. She spent most of her career fighting to protect abused children and women in domestic violence cases. I'm really proud of her. I also have 3 kids, beautiful kids that are 16, 13, and 10. My kids go to public schools. And maybe that's part of why I'm so focused on ensuring that everybody's children have access to a first-class education.
In the Pentagon, Chris and I work side by side tirelessly to protect service members, veterans, and their families from financial scams and other predatory products. Chris is the best of the best and has all of the skills, judgment, character, and experience to be a truly outstanding governor.
We need to ensure that our LGBTQ friends and neighbors are treated with all the dignity and respect and equality that they deserve. Utah will be stronger if we embrace our diversity and let's celebrate our differences. This is a year where we have the potential as a Democratic Party to really make progress with the crisis, with the economic troubles we're facing, and with, let's be honest, some pretty feckless and irresponsible leadership from the Republican Party back in Washington, D.C. We have a real opportunity to pick up some seats, make some progress, and help rebuild enthusiasm for the Democratic Party here, even in Utah.
What Utah needs in its next governor is someone smart, decent, and principled. Someone who shares the values and priorities of all Utahns. Someone who will work hard to directly address the real problems Utah faces. That person is Chris Peterson.
Over my career, I believe I've acquired the experience and insight necessary to be an effective governor. I've worked in the Obama administration at the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, where I helped form a team of attorneys that went after major Wall Street banks, mortgage lenders, payday lenders, and other companies that had been illegally cheating their customers. We returned over $12 billion in refunds and restitution to ordinary working families all across America. I want to bring those same kind of skills that I used during the Obama administration back here to Salt Lake City and to the state of Utah to take care of my own family and state.
Okay, next we have Nikki Ray Pino, another gubernatorial candidate.
When I was a kid, I loved superheroes. I still do. I loved their self-sacrifice, their commitment to do the right thing, their protection of the innocent, and their wisdom in joining forces when the need arose. I still admire those qualities and aspire to be a decent person. I was born and raised in Utah, and I love the state, from its beautiful mountains and state parks to its people and history. Yet there are aspects of Utahn life that aren't ideal. Younger people are hurting themselves due to isolation and inadequate mental health support. Single parents are unable to properly support themselves or their families on a single income. Pollution and overall frustration. Over the years, I've heard the phrase, lesser of two evils. And it is disheartening to see that that is the attitude people have when it comes to political candidates. We all know we don't often get quality options. We do know that many elected officials have self-interests in mind and pursue those instead of doing their job of supporting the American people, people who deserve to have their trust respected. I'm a working class individual, and I'm tired of seeing people struggling to live, much less thrive. We need people in office who understand their problems because they've lived them. So I want to be your choice. I'm tired of the divisiveness. I'm tired of the choosing the lesser of two evils. I want to be a good choice. Someone who will listen to the people's concerns and fight to make sure those concerns are heard. However, I don't want to continue this us versus them narrative. When I think of good, effective leaders, I think of Abraham Lincoln, who said, "A house divided against itself cannot stand." And do I not destroy my enemies when I make them my friends? We can't succeed if we focus on others' failures. We fail if we can only see enemies instead of potential allies. Yet our system is broken and needs an overhaul. We need to make changes that adhere to our morals and ethics, but still allow us to adapt to an ever-changing society. Political leaders are always the rich and elite, lawyers or businessmen, who don't effectively support everyday citizens. We need to change our strategy if we want to win, if we want to make a difference. I have what it takes to change the system. I'm here, not because someone asked, laughing at the idea. I'm here because I've long planned to be here. I want to be here. I'm young and I can bring in the younger vote. I'm different than our current or previous candidates. I want to reach out to the unaffiliated and undecided voters and make them feel like they belong. I want to bring Utah together. And I believe I can even bring the Republican vote. I want our state to progress. And we have to do that together. I want our education system to excel with better pay for teachers, smaller class size, and an updated curriculum that gives us the tools we need in the real world. I want a better and more efficient mass transit system, more buses, more trams, a subway, a cross-county and a cross-state railway. If we do these things, we'll increase our quality of life and lay the groundwork for future generations. We need to put in term limits. We need an ethics oversight committee. We need a communication system that allows the Utah people to be up to date and informed on what their government is doing on a state, county, and local level. I want our political system to stop being red versus blue. We're going to continue to fail unless we become a purple state. One where we can all agree on what is best for everyone, where we can effectively communicate, where everyone can be heard. I want to be your next governor. I want to represent you. And most importantly, I want to be a hero who goes above and beyond to show you I respect you. My name is Nikki Rapino, and I want to be your choice for governor.
Okay. The last gubernatorial candidate is Archie Williams, and here you can see his phone and email. Okay, Terry, back to you.
Okay, so watch your emails for the upcoming virtual Utah Democratic Party State Convention. All of the state delegates will get information from these candidates, I'm sure, but you will also be receiving information from our state party. We will probably be using a online voting system that will use ranked choice voting. It will allow us to efficiently find the best candidate that we all agree on for our November ballot. Remember that your local candidates need your help. Volunteer, donate, vote. Next, I'd like to turn this over to Amy Armour, our secretary, and she's going to talk a little bit about what we can be doing beyond the politics part of this. So, Amy.
One second.
Okay. Can you?
Amy. Thanks, Amy.
There you go.
Oh, great. Okay, fantastic. I'm sorry, I was muted. Thank you, Terry, for introducing me. As you know, I am the Wasatch Democratic Secretary. I'm also running for a Wasatch County Council, and I just wanted to thank you for joining us tonight. We know it's a difficult time right now, that we are all feeling it, but I just wanted to reiterate that we will get through this together, that our community is strong and very dedicated. And you're an example of that just by being here tonight. Let's remember to look out for each other. You know, we have no idea what the person next to us is going through. Let's be sensitive and make sure you go to Wasatch Gov and click on COVID-19 because there are some great resources out there. Thank you, everyone. Please be safe. Terry, back to you.
Well, thank you, Amy. And for my parting words for you tonight, I would just like to remind you that we have one goal. Our goal is elect Democrats in November. Let's work hard this year. We are all in this together and we can win in 2020. So stay safe, stay home, and thank you for joining us tonight. Are we good?